Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our second of 3 meetings of 2024. I'm Amanda Gendek, Manager of the Bureau of Research, Innovation, and Information Transfer, and remain your hostess with the mostest until we're able to fill our Innovation Coordinator vacancy. Interviews are finally happening next week, so I'm hoping that you'll have a new Innovation Coordinator that will be taking over the administration of these meetings in December when we have our next meeting. So as always, you're encouraged to turn on your cameras and show your faces. I just ask that you please mute yourself unless you are a presenter or asking a question. Excuse me, and we'll be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions or comments along the way, please feel free and we will do our best to answer them all. Okay, now for a quick welcome and hello, I would like to turn it over to my leadership team, Assistant Commissioner of Statewide Planning, Safety, and Capital Investment, Eric Powers, and Director of Statewide Planning, Megan Fackler.
Good morning, everyone. I haven't been to the movies in a while, but I remember last time I was at the movies, there's all this stuff you got to get through until the feature presentation comes up, right? And so I don't want to be that. I know there's a lot of good updates that we're going to have, but I think, one of the exciting things I'm definitely looking forward to on this agenda is that feature presentation on the low carbon transportation materials. I think this is a, real important thing to lean into. It's a one-way transportation, and our projects can help contribute to a better tomorrow by using these materials. And so I'll just say hello, everyone, and I'll stop there. Like I said, I don't want my preview to go on too long. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Just to echo Eric's point, I'll be brief. This is only my second STIC meeting since taking over the role in statewide planning, and I have to say it's become one of the favorite meetings I have on my calendar just due to the sheer innovation, and I always walk away just with so many ideas, thoughts, and feelings about what the future holds in transportation for the department. So, Amanda, I turn it back to you, and I look forward to the presentations in today's meeting.
Thank you, Eric and Megan. Okay, we have a couple featured topics to discuss later in the agenda during our feature presentation segment. Giri Venkatila is going to cover our most recent endeavor that Eric mentioned, which is the submittal of an application for FHWA's low carbon transportation materials grant. And after that, I'll be talking about a couple of award-winning research projects that we were recognized by AASHTO. Okay, and now I would like to invite Christopher Page, our Innovation Coordinator and Community Planner of our FHWA New Jersey Division Office, to discuss any FHWA updates if he has any.
All right, thanks, Amanda. Good morning, everyone. Chris Page here. Just a few things since our last meeting. I'll try to be as brief as possible. You can go to the next slide, please.
I don't have any slides.
Oh,
Chris.
okay. Oh, I thought, okay. Then I'll just go over them.
Okay.
So last month in July, we had a strategic workforce development peer exchange up in Syracuse, New York. NJDOT did an excellent job hosting us. We had a site visit we had a virtual site visit. We had some weather related issues with trying to go to a in-person site visit, but we were able to see how strategic workforce development was working on the I-81 project up there. So more to share in the strategic workforce development updates later on in the meeting today. STIC incentive apps are due by Friday. I'm going to elaborate that on a little bit more, but I did receive one yesterday, so thank you for putting that together. And if you have any other interest in the next next 2 days, feel free to reach out to me and via email, and we'll be happy to help you assist and put something together and get that submitted. One thing I did want to highlight for the EDC7 cycle period, the progress report cycle number 3, please get those to us by November 8th. The reason I'm pointing that out, and I know that's a pretty long, it seems like a long time away from now, but please note that that's before our next STIC meeting in December. So I wanted to highlight that now just so everybody's aware and they start getting ahead on that. So if you have any questions on that as well, please just go ahead and reach out. So that was all that I had. Like I said, if you have any other questions, just feel free to reach out to me, christopher.page@dot.gov. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chris. Next are the report outs from our core innovation area team leads, where we get to hear about the implementation, what the implementation teams have been up to since our last meeting back in the spring. And I'll continue sharing my screen, so just tell me next if I haven't advanced the slide already. So we're going to start with the safety team. And first up, please welcome Jeevan Singh, who is here for Dan Lasanti, and Alan Huff from our safety CIA team.
Good morning, everybody. I will let Alan start with the presentation on lighting, which is our ED7 initiative. This is a Rutgers study. Alan?
Great. Thanks, Javen. Thanks, Amanda. As part of NJDOT's research tasks for the New Jersey Bicycle and Pedestrian Resource Center, staff at Rutgers VTC and Rowan University have continued to research best practices in pedestrian scale lighting. The target audience for this resource is county and municipal governments, with the intent of assisting them identify and implement lighting in their communities to serve pedestrians. Layouts for the sections of the document are under development. Additionally, Rutgers VTC has participated in conversations with NJTPA about their work standardizing their lighting analyses. Next steps include synthesis of findings from the literature review of manuals and design guides, which includes criteria for identifying standards for pedestrian scale lighting based on federal guidance, relevant vehicle and pedestrian volumes, vehicle speeds, roadway width, and number of lanes, definition of terms and description of the methodologies used to determine adequate lighting levels for pedestrians, identifying ways to determine minimum and maximum luminance, illuminance, color-corrected temperature and fixture spacing, positioning, and height, drafting of the pedestrian scale lighting resource to be shared for review with NJDOT and subject matter experts. Next. Back to you, Jeevan. You're on mute, Jeevan.
All right. Thank you, Alan, for that update. And as the overachievers that we are, we have an activity number 2 for the EDC7 initiative, which is the backplates, nighttime visibility for safety, the backplates with retroreflective borders. The department, through a task order contract, is developing traffic signal pole and mast arm details based on 2015 AASHTO LRFD requirements for signalized intersections installations, including backplates with retroreflective tape on traffic signal indications. Once the new details are completed, the NJDOT will require all new installations to include backplates with retroreflective tape on all signal indications. At this time, Division of Traffic Engineering has been installing backplates on signal heads installed on steel mast arms wherever possible. A quick briefing on where we are in the effort. The consultant designer is coordinating with fabricators on the feasibility of manufacturing the designed steel traffic signal poles and mast arms. The basics of design for aluminum poles, mast arms, and the foundation has been reviewed by the department, and comments were provided to the design consultant. The FHWA training on lighting has been rescheduled for the later part of this year. That was all from the EDC7 safety initiative. Any questions, please, you're welcome to post it, or Amanda, wherever we are in the process of taking questions, we're ready.
Okay. Yeah, so if you have any questions, raise your hand or put it in the chat.
There's a hand. Amanda, Eric raised a hand.
Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
So I probably should know this, and sorry to put you on the spot, Tegan, but I noticed, I love the backplates. I noticed some of them are black without the reflective tape, and some of them are reflective. Are we moving towards a standard so that even the ones that are installed by the locals will have the same look and feel?
At this point in time, we're developing standards for NJDOT to be included in the NJDOT roadway design manual and standard details, and the locals usually take guidance from our details.
Okay, so the ones that are all black, I guess those are fine then too, right?
They are fine, but when we look at the proven safety countermeasures, the proven safety countermeasure reduction for crashes is based on black backplate with a yellow retroreflective border. So our standard, the one that we are going for and we're working towards, is the one with the yellow reflective tape.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Jeevan and Alan. Next is Shifani Patel and Nunzio Murlock from our infrastructure preservation team.
Good morning, everyone. I'll start with EPIC. So since April, the Internally Cured Concrete Initiative team, led by Samar Rabi and Jess Mendendahl, have worked diligently to complete significant tasks and make great strides towards achieving key milestones. They have also continued work related to the EDC6 UHPC innovation. Guide specifications for the high-performance internally cured concrete have been finalized. They have been incorporated in the special provisions of the final design submission for the first pilot project to be awarded in fall of 2024. The pilot project is Northmont Avenue Bridge over Route 280 in the city of East Orange in Essex County. The team also engaged with Utility and Transportation Contractors Association of New Jersey to solicit feedback on the draft special provisions. The team coordinated with lightweight fine aggregate suppliers to ensure the availability of the material for the pilot project. They also coordinated with the 3 concrete suppliers in the vicinity of the project location to ensure previous experience in supplying internally cured HPC. Team members attended the New York State Peer Exchange on the EPIC initiative in Albany, New York on May 29th through the 30th. During the peer exchange, the team had the opportunity to engage with other champions from adopting states, shared perspectives on implementation, observed an internally cured concrete batching and placement, heard industry perspectives from suppliers and contractors actively executing projects with internally cured concrete, and gained a deeper understanding of how to design, specify, and trial batch internally cured concrete. The team is thankful for the opportunity provided by FHWA New Jersey Division Office and the FHWA Resource Center. Currently, the team is preparing for the final design submission of the candidate bridges within the pilot project program. They are also scoping additional projects to add to the candidate bridge list. The team is applying for STIC incentives to acquire equipment for lightweight fine aggregate testing, as well as supplement the HPIC acceptance testing efforts during construction. Finally, the team is also in the process of coordinating with the Bureau of Materials and Regional Materials regarding the centrifuge method. In the next quarter, the team plans to continue coordination efforts with concrete suppliers in other regions of the state for the upcoming bridge within the pilot projects program. They will carry out the procurement process to purchase several centrifuge apparatuses, which is the FHWA recommended method for quality control of determining the moisture content of lightweight fine aggregate. In conjunction, the team will update the HPIC specifications to incorporate the centrifuge apparatus. We have an update on the EDC6 UHPC innovation. The team has collaborated with FHWA NJ Division Office and the FHWA Resource Center to develop a lessons learned publication on UHPC overlays. We will be sure to share this informative piece with the STIC community. Moving on to EPDs. So since April, the EPDs team has continued working on the first phase of the work plan, consisting of the 4 simultaneous research efforts. We are also awaiting further direction from senior leadership regarding the EPDs initiative and its next steps. Team member Nusrat Morshed, who is currently leading NJDOT in the FHWA Climate Challenge Grant projects, attended the FHWA Climate Challenge, and EDC 7 Environmental Product Declarations for Sustainable Project Delivery National Symposium on June 5th through the 6th in Arlington, Virginia. Other staff members participated virtually on the first day of the symposium event. Day 1 of the symposium was focused on showcasing the Climate Challenge and EDC 7 participant projects and efforts. And Day 2 was only for in-person attendees, and it provided an opportunity to continue discussions based on the previous sessions and an exchange of lessons learned among state representatives. A technical report from the event will be available shortly. NJDOT is working diligently on the Climate Challenge project initiatives. Currently, the team is comparing specialty mixes to regular mixes. Since extensive EPDs have not been collected for specialty mixes, New Jersey must do a comparative analysis prior to using job mix formula to create its own EPDs for specialty mixes. So, New Jersey has been evaluating its job mix formula intended for regular mixes to determine if it provides similar numbers to those found on industry-level EPDs. Until full confidence is reached that New Jersey's JMF for regular mixes matches industry-level EPDs, the department will not utilize job mix formula to create EPDs for its specialty mixes. For this upcoming quarter, team members will continue working on research efforts, including learning about Pennsylvania and Delaware's recent legislation passage, which mandates the use of EPDs as an effort towards achieving greenhouse gas emissions reduction goals. Staff will continue the process of researching and learning more about EPDs and the current best practices across the country to understand how transportation agencies are beginning to require and collect EPDs during project procurement to prepare for implementing EPDs as part of procurement decisions. Team members will work on project tasks for the 2 projects related to FHWA's climate challenge as well. In the next couple of months, we hope to obtain a decision from senior leadership on the decision of our would-be effort and a long-term vision for this initiative. Any questions? Thank you.
Don't see any questions or hands raised right now. Okay, thank you, Shivani. Next up is Crystal Walker and Chris Page from our Organizational Support and Improvement CIA team.
Morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. So as an update with our EDC 7 initiative with highway workers, we're currently still in our implementation plans. So our funding request still is a pending FHWA's approval. So from last time, it was redirected to FHWA through the on-the-job training supported services with OJT NSS funding allocation process. This request still is pending. Civil Rights Unit is looking at other options to be explored in the event there is a denial or the request remains pending for further extended period of time. Next slide, please. So within the contractor compliance unit, they are still continue to collaborate with the OFCCP on best practices. Also, the unit is engaging with more state transportation agencies with more effective workforce development programs. And they're doing that via webinars. Also, they are going to be participating in an upcoming ED7 fireside chat, which will be held on August 15th regarding workforce partnerships. Next slide, please. Also, they do have a scheduled industry meeting. So this is ongoing with union buy-in. So they do have a scheduled construction contractor industry meeting, which will be held on August 28th. So within that discussion, we'll be talking with the unions and talking about apprenticeship programs. Next slide, please. Now, just recently, within the contract compliance unit and FHWA, we went to a strategic workforce development workshop in Syracuse, New York which was a peer exchange. So it was July 10th and 11th with multiple other DOTs. So unfortunately, I wasn't there. I wasn't feeling well, but Christopher Page, as well as Cheryl Telefero, she is the supervisor over our contract compliance unit here at NJDOT, were able to attend. So because Chris was there, I just wanted to see if he can just, and he briefly mentioned in the beginning a little bit about the event, but I just wanted to have him speak just a little bit further on the event. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Crystal. So, yeah, so we were able to attend this event. We had a lot of good conversations. The states that were invited were strategically invited because of some of the innovative practices that they're using to implement strategic workforce development. Some states are further along than others. Some states face different challenges than others. I know we're some of the challenges that we face are working with unions and things like that. So some states have had successes, some states have had challenges. Some states have had some very interesting methods to engage with the local workforce. I know New York had a panel, and some of the local workforce development teams were in attendance, and they had a panel there, and they were talking about some of the methods that they use. So it was very, very interesting, very informative. We do have notes, or if anybody is interested, we can disseminate those accordingly. But just wanted to highlight that, and I want to thank Cheryl for giving an excellent presentation as well at the workshop. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And speaking with, even though I was not physically there, speaking with Chris and Cheryl, the main takeaways is even exploring more of the 504 funding, additional opportunities with that, grants. Also, learning a little bit more and working a little bit more with industry partnerships and Department of Labor. Additional fundings there that we can work with them on various initiatives and working more with the unions. We have a lot of challenges with the unions and really getting their buy-ins. So we're hoping to get a little bit more flexibility when it comes to the unions as it relates to our initiative. And I believe the next slide is just thank you, but if anyone has any questions, the floor is yours.
Questions right now? Thank you very much.
Thank
Crystal and
you.
Chris. Thank you. Next, we have Sudhir Joshi as well as Satapa Bandyopadhyay with updates from our planning and environment team.
I think is that operations before me, but I can go ahead, no problem.
What's that?
Is that operations presentation before me as per the agenda?
Are you ready to go now?
Yeah, I can go. Yeah,
Okay, that was my fault. Go ahead, Sudhir.
no problem. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure they're not. All right. Good morning, everyone. So we're going to talk about the department's efforts on decarbonization process. And so I'll give update on that. As you know, we have identified 5 carbon reduction strategies where we would, apply these types of projects throughout the department, throughout the state, to reduce the carbon footprint. So first is promote electric and zero emission vehicles, which supports transition from fossil fuel to the electric vehicles and other alternative fuel vehicles. Promote more multi-use mass transit active modes, which is shift away from the single occupancy vehicles trips. Also support roadway operations, which are more efficient to improve traffic flow and reduce the delay or congestion. Also incorporate the efficient construction materials, which would include recycled materials that Shivani talked about, and also efficient equipment operations where some equipments like construction equipment would be reduced use of the diesel fuel. that would, be mostly converted to electric or some other alternative fuel vehicles. Uh, Also enable innovative solutions to explore new methods, technologies, and more sustainable materials. So what would this help us immediately for our CMAC 4-year performance targets? So that would help us to reduce the carbon emissions to achieve our 4-year targets. Next slide, please. So next would be the implementation plan. So we would like to coordinate with the MPOs and stakeholders to assist with the implementation of the greenhouse gas emissions reduction process, provide the resources, guidance, and best practices to MPOs, counties, and municipalities, and continue to fund and deliver the projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Incorporate carbon-friendly elements into the existing projects, and purchase cleaner vehicles and construction equipment. So for this implementation plan, we would like the stakeholder participation. And why would anticipate participation from the stakeholders? So that would help us maximize the impact to enhance the effectiveness of the carbon reduction strategies that we have developed and ensure that the funding supports the most impactful projects. Also leverage your expertise, provide valuable insights based on your real world experience, help us understand the broader impacts of the projects and influence the future decisions. So contribute to more informed funding decisions, also shape the future funding opportunities and the support. What will be your role? What will you expect from the stakeholders? So we would like you to engage. Participate in the ranking process. So once we initiate our implementation plan, we would like you to participate in our project ranking process. We would like your feedback, share insights and your experience. Also, the impact. So help refine our strategies for the greater effectiveness. So that would really help us to, achieve our goals. Next slide, please. So these are potential next steps. So we anticipate to start ranking and scoring the carbon reduction and greenhouse emission reduction projects based on the criteria that are to be determined. So we include the CRP funded projects in the STIP to justify and inform use of the CRP funds. Use the greenhouse gas impacts as a mandatory STIP project selection criteria to incorporate the project level greenhouse gas reporting. We anticipate updating the carbon reduction strategies every 2 years, which would align with the STIP process, STIP modification. And we anticipate to evaluate carbon dioxide impacts of the carbon reduction program fund, CRP funds. Also, we'll implement the federal highway approved carbon reduction strategies in the STIP. And our goal is to share the data with MPOs and other stakeholders. I think this is the end of my slide. If anybody has questions, you can take questions. Looks like no questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhir, and my apologies for the.
No problem. This is not problem for me. No, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so last but not least, we have Vandana Mathur and Ake Pomsavath from our Mobility and Operations CIA team.
Thanks, Amanda. Ake would be doing the presentation.
Okay.
Thanks, Vandana. The Next Gen Tim has continued to be a good program, can continue to build upon the success of the program and really help to improve mobility, reduce the incident clearance, and use technology to protect the emergency responder to support a safe system approach. Next slide, please. The NJDOT has installed light towers mounted on the rooftop of their emergency management trucks for scene lighting to increase visibility for the responders and motorists, especially in the rural state highway that can be very dark and crashes happening overnight. These towers are collapsible and can extend 10 to 15 feet above the rooftop, operating on the vehicle's power supply without the need for diesel fuel. The NJDOT Safety Service Patrol drivers have now switched to using LED flares at the incident scene, no longer using the smoke flares that can be hot, smoky, and having a lot of sparks. The LED flares do not release burning chemicals that could blacken the roadway with black soot. It is also rechargeable and can help display a sequence of patterns to assist with the traffic lane closure for traffic incidents. These two initiatives have been institutionalized, funding for the light towers and the LED flares integrated into the NJDOT TISMO work programs. Next slide, please. The NJDOT has continued to partner with DriveWise to provide real-time alerts for truck drivers, especially the no trucks and left lane alerts, notifying them when they are approaching the corridors where trucks are not permitted in the left lane, locations that have faster moving traffic, and to help reduce the freight congestion. Next slide, please. To date, about 1.7 million total alerts have been sent. 29% of the alerts are sent to the commercial vehicle trucks. Overall, it has helped the truck drivers better navigate the roads more safely, better driving awareness for the truck drivers, and just knowing in advance of the lane restrictions, and also helping to smooth out the speed differential. And this concludes the update for our team and can take any questions.
Thanks, Ik.
Okay, I don't see any questions or hands raised. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the CIA teams for those updates. And we're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is good. We're going to move right into our feature presentations. And as a reminder, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. And so take it away, Giri.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I need to apologize. My camera is not working today. As Eric and Megan point out, the importance of low carbon materials on our infrastructure projects. I think this program is a great opportunity for NJDOT to get more use of these materials in our infrastructure projects. Next slide, please. So we were contacted by Payment Group about this potential FSWA grant, Bureau of Research, Innovation, Information Transfer. How we handle this? That's my presentation today. So we collaborated with many of these stakeholders who are interested in these materials. That's what I'm going to present my presentation focus on today. Next slide, please. Next. Okay. So before going deep, I just want to point out a few things here for the what is this program is all about. I just put in the chat the link also for this grant program. FSWA allocated at least $22 million for the states, for all 50 states, to come up with a plans with the LCTM materials so that we can use in the infrastructure projects. This funding is available to use. They're gonna announce it in this September 2024, and we get to use by 2026. We need to authorize the funding 2026, and the program shall end September 2031. So we have still a lot of time to kick this project and to finalize the project goals. And this is not a competitive grant. If we address all the factors that FSWA want us to tap in during this program, we should be fine. So that's the goal of this application process here. Next slide, please, Amanda. So what are the eligible materials in this grant? Asphalt, concrete, steel, glass. So these are all 4 eligible materials. Next slide. Next. So NJDOT is interested in NJDOT. We are interested in all these 4 materials. Typically, some of these states, they handle only asphalt. Some of them are concrete, heavy in projects. But we want to tap all these 4 grant, the LCTM materials using this program. So I'm just going to highlight what are the program overall goals. So the overall goals for this program is to increase the use, of these kind of materials, because now contractors are hesitant to work with these materials because there is no specifications. There is no testing protocols available for some of these materials. So that is the benefit of this program. So we can develop all these things using this program and also facilitate the use of these materials in construction projects. And one of the other important aspect here is promoting technology transfer. So we can enhance this knowledge, LCTM materials knowledge testing or the properties. We can promote these to our workforce using this program also. And most importantly, encouraging states to come up with their frameworks. So that is the most challenging for the states now, for all of the states, come up with a framework where we can effectively use these LCTM materials on our infrastructure projects. So next slide, please. So this request for application is pretty much, we would say, pretty much straightforward, standard. And our goal here is to come up with a technical application, a budget application, and and any supporting documentation. So the most challenging part is all the information needs to be in very limited page limit here, 15 pages. And that is the challenging part that we faced. And the due date for this was June 10th, 2024. So next slide, please. So now I'm going to talk about administration and so way before we starting writing this proposal. So we are aware that this program needs to be done by very, we need to include all the stakeholders, and collaboration needs to be there, and effective communication. So Britt identified all of these, and we make sure that next click, please, madam. So we make sure that we include our technical expertise from all the divisions that are working in the LCTM projects, and university stakeholders. So we identified 5 universities whom we have the basic agreement. So we want to include them also way before that this kind of opportunity is there, what kind of facilities you have. And so we initiated that discussions also, and also we would like to include private sector contractors and other companies who are producing these LCTM materials. So our goal is to combine all of our efforts and produce a solid application and run this program effectively by this collaboration framework. So next slide, please. And also, Britt, we are interested in developing a standalone web page for LCTM grant program so that We have updates regularly, what is going on in the research side, and any newsletters or any kind of training aids for the local governments also who within our state who wants to implement these LCTM materials in their projects. And we're also interested in develop LCTM databases for all these 4 materials that we identified, and also periodic progress meetings also we'd like to highlight in this website. Next slide, please. So in overall, how we are approaching this grant program, we divide the whole program in 2 phases. In the first phase, we are going to identify what are the low carbon materials available in each category for asphalt, for concrete, for steel and glass. And we're going to produce, come up with EPDs and testing protocols. We're going to do some research on that. And we develop specifications for all these identified low carbon materials. And we want to train or provide some tech transfer activities in the phase 1. In the phase 2, so one of the important aspects for this program is to adopt identified materials into the actual construction projects. So we dedicated time for that activity also in phase 2, where we are identifying construction projects and by using the materials that we identified in phase 1. So how the transition, how we are make sure that these materials are in our construction projects, that is in phase 2. So this is how we develop our application. Next slide, please, Amanda. So these are the 7 tasks for each material. For concrete, so we have to achieve these 7 tasks. For asphalt, we have to follow these 7 tasks. I'm not going in detail of these tasks, but probably next time, if you heard anything from FSW, I might we will go through in details of these. But so to achieve our goal is to apply these materials into the actual construction projects. So we have to follow, systematically, these tasks. So that's how we provide our application to the FSWA. Next slide, please. So this is the timeline. We just want to put it out here. So by emphasizing the collaborative effectiveness, so we try to achieve in 4 weeks. We try to have we communicated regularly within these 4 weeks with all interested stakeholders, universities, SMEs, and we divided each material as separate group, and we had concurrent meetings, and we try to develop a very comprehensive grant proposal, and we submitted way before the due date. We submitted on June 7th. So I just want to emphasize here, because it's the collaborative nature of this program. I think we are very fortunate that everyone is worked very diligently during the application process, and we hope that same thing we're going to achieve during the process, also during the actual program also. So the announcement date that FSWA currently is saying that in September, next month sometime, they're going to announce the awardees. So we are hoping that we'll hear some good news for our state. Yeah, with that, thank you, Amanda. Yeah,
so everybody cross your fingers. Hopefully we'll hear something positive very soon. It's a big deal, and Giri put in a considerable amount of work and coordination, and I'm very proud of how we pulled it together in such a short amount of time and got all of our universities and subject matter experts working together and collaborating. So I'm really looking forward to working on it in the future. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we have one hand raised.
Questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, Nachum. Ali?
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is Ali Najim from Structural Engineering. I just want to ask Gary, this low carbon initiative, I believe the state of New Jersey or the governor also provides some sort of incentive for the contractors to use a low carbon material on our transportation materials. So are you aware of that?
For this program, as per the funding is, we need to allocate some funding for the incentives is by the contractors from this program. From our state side, I'm not aware of any that information, but using this program is some at least 10 to 20% funding put aside to give the incentives for the contractors who are willing to use LCTMs.
Yeah, so I believe as of January of 2024, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I think the state of New Jersey
Mhm.
initiated this incentive for the contractors to use low carbon.
Mm.
And right now, we did discuss this internally with Bridge Division, within the Bridge Division. And the thing was that this incentive is a compensation to the contractor. In other words, if they use this low carbon material, then they get certain incentive from the state of New Jersey.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm asking if you are aware of that. Because we,
Yeah.
again, this is incentive for the contractor.
Mhm.
It's
Definitely.
really.
Mhm.
And now,
We'll
are you
look
saying
into
a
it,
federal
yeah.
government, federal highway is requiring this?
Yes. So using this funding is on federal projects, so federal projects only. So, but I'm not aware of the state incentive thing. But once we get awarded this program, I think we'll find out, what is the additional, activities that we need to provide for the contractors also from the state side and from the federal side.
Well, I tell you, the next
Alex-
time I have a meeting with
Mhm.
our PRP team,
Yeah.
I will find out more information on that incentive that
Mhm.
the state of New Jersey is providing for the contractors. And if you want, I can probably share them with you.
Sure, definitely.
Absolutely. That
Thank
would be
you.
great.
Yeah.
Ali, do you know if that incentive is something that the contractor would have to apply for, or would they apply, or would NJDOT apply for that incentive on their behalf?
Amanda, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But this thing came up a few months ago. And we had an internal discussion within the Bridge Division. And we say, you know what? This incentive is not going to benefit DOT. It only benefits the contractor
Right.
as an incentive to use low carbon. So, and that's where kind of ended. So,
Right.
but I could find out next time I have a meeting with our BRP team, and whatever I can find out, I can pass it on to Gary and Amanda yourself.
That'd be great. Thank
And
you.
then maybe you can look into that, whether that impacts or doesn't impact this initiative.
Great.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Can I,
Hi, Subir. Mhm.
yes, to Ali's question, I just Googled it and I found that in January 2023, the New Jersey enacted S287, creating a first in the nation tax credit for the utilization of low carbon concrete. The new law gives businesses a credit of up to 5% of a project's total concrete cost if they use materials with low levels of embodied carbon dioxide emissions. So you can search more, and you can provide more information on that. But there is something, as you said, there is something available to the contractors.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So so there you're right. It was January 24th or 23rd,
23,
2023.
yeah.
Yeah, not 2024. So it
Right.
was
It was last
a
year
year and a
sometime.
half ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
so-
another one that Summer put in the chat beginning in 2024. There's a tax incentive for concrete producers as well. So there's a lot of backing and encouragement to use these low concrete or low carbon materials. So, with all this information coming in, if we do receive the grant funding, we're going to, look into all of these incentives and incorporate them into our program, and just so we're aware of them all. So thank you very much, everyone, for the information. We'll definitely look into it, and please do share what you learn.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So we're going to head into our next portion, which is high value research project spotlight. So as we know, transportation research promotes innovative thinking and provides an opportunity to solve the most critical transportation issues in not only local but national importance. And the Bureau is very active in many national efforts, including the Association of State Highway Transportation Officials, which is AASHTO. In fact, Giri Venkatila is the vice chair of Region 1 of AASHTO's Research Advisory Committee. We call that RAC, and that serves the Special Committee on Research and Innovation. And every year, the High Value Research Task Force of RAC hosts a national competition to find 4 high-value research projects from each of the 4 AASHTO regions in the country. So New Jersey was fortunate enough to be nationally recognized again and awarded for not 1, but 2 of our research projects this year. And the first project, which is called Advanced Reinforced Concrete Materials for Transportation Infrastructure, was recognized as one of the top 16 projects in the country, and that was managed here in the Bureau by Giri Venkatila. A little bit about the project. Transportation infrastructure systems must resist conditioning from the natural environment and physical demands from service loading to meet the needs of users across the state. Reinforced concrete, which is widely used in bridge decks, pavements, super and substructures, and other systems, deteriorates under environmental conditioning due to electrochemical processes that cause expansive mechanics stresses at various length scales. For example, reinforcement corrosion, freeze-thaw, etc., which leads to costly and timely durability and maintenance challenges. The project report, which provides a background on the state-of-the-art of advanced reinforced concrete materials that are being investigated to improve reinforced concrete transportation infrastructure. A series of experimental and numerical research activities were then carried out to assess the mechanical properties and long-term durability of these systems. Results show benefits across a range of metrics and have the potential to substantially improve the in-service behavior of reinforced concrete transportation infrastructure. All right, and the second project, called Innovative Pothole Repair Materials and Techniques, was recognized in the Maintenance Management and Prevention Supplemental category and was also managed by Giri Venkatila. So pothole repair is one of the most important and frequent maintenance activities for highway agencies, as we all know. Significant amounts of costs and resources are spent in pothole repair for material, labor, equipment, and traffic control. Cost-effective pothole repair methods can reduce or eliminate the possibility of repatching and save future repair costs. The good condition of pothole repair with less cracking will also prevent reflective cracking when asphalt overlay is placed. Preheating the excavated pothole prior to repair has been found to improve the interface bonding between existing pavements and hot filling material, which can help enhance the overall performance of asphalt patches. The long lifespan of patch will reduce travel delay due to work zone and safety risk of highway users and workers. These will better preserve the condition of highway infrastructure and provide better services to the traveling public. On the other hand, as it has been found feasible to incorporate recycled material in asphalt pavement pothole repair, the usage of recycled material can reduce the production of new material, which can contribute towards a more sustainable approach of roadway repair with economic and environmental benefits. Okay, do we have any questions on those two projects?
Amanda, we just posted the links for these projects also.
Okay, perfect. So if you are interested in finding out more about these two research projects, the links are in the chat. Thank you very much for that. I don't know if that emoji from Jacob Cummings is just like a high five or if it's a question.
No question. I'm just giving kudos to people. You guys are doing great
Awesome.
with the innovations. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So now for some announcements and reminders. As always, make sure you bookmark our tech transfer website, which hosts the New Jersey STIC web page, where you can find all of our STIC business articles, STIC meeting recordings and summaries, and any STIC incentive grant guidance, and much more. Next, the Bureau of Research welcomes all of you to submit ideas for research and/or innovation on our ideas portal. It's open to anyone, including the public. And once you easily register for an account, you can submit new ideas or browse, comment, and even upvote existing research and innovative ideas. And if you'd like your idea to be considered by our Research and Innovation Oversight Committee, in January, the deadline for idea submittal is December 31st, 2024. All right, and speaking of the STIC incentive, each federal fiscal year, we have not 100 anymore. We have $125,000 in STIC incentive funding available each year. And we're always looking to you, our STIC members, to identify projects to utilize this funding. So core innovation leads, these funds can be used to help advance your EDC efforts, and guidance for any applicant is available on the tech transfer site. And I also have a dedicated contract administrator who's willing to assist applicants as well. So the blue link has all the information you need to get started, but if you have any questions about the program or have ideas for a project, please feel free to contact me or anyone on my team. And the white link at the bottom is a link on FHWA's STIC website that shows all the different ways other states have used STIC incentive funding. So if you're looking for an idea, or if you want to know if your idea has been used in other states for STIC incentive, that's a great resource. Okay, so the NJ STIC executive team, as was mentioned earlier in the presentation, we just submitted a STIC incentive application to our FHWA team this week for their review and consideration. So the project application was prepared by Summer Robbie and Jess Mendenhall of the NJDOT Division of Project Management Team D on behalf of the Infrastructure Preservation Core Innovation Area Team, which is led by Shivani Patel and Nunzio Merlin. So per the FHWA EDC 7 initiative, NJDOT is considering pilot projects to test the internal curing of high-performance concrete bridge decks. Early age autogenous shrinking cracking in bridge decks makes the deck and the supporting structural elements susceptible to moisture and chlorides, reducing deck and bridge service life. The department's ultimate goal with this STIC incentive project is to increase the service life of bridges in the state of New Jersey by improving the durability of bridge decks and other concrete components. So also wish us luck on that endeavor as well. Next announcement, registration for the 104th TRB annual meeting will be opening up in September. So please make sure you set a reminder for yourself to visit their webpage and get yourself registered for that, which is a very exciting conference. Next, please save the date for the 2024 annual NJDOT Research Showcase. This year, we'll be celebrating our 26th year and have chosen the theme of Pathways to Sustainability. We'll be highlighting many research topics, but our concentration this year will be topics such as greenhouse gas reduction, electrification, climate resilience, and of course, low carbon transportation materials. This event is to be held October 23rd at the Conference Center in Mercer County Community College. And we're offering in-person attendance as well as virtual attendance. Registration is not yet available, but please do save the date and keep an eye out for our posters and some information that's going to come out on the intranet and also an email blast as well. And any individuals requiring PDHs will receive priority for only in-person seating. We can't grant PDHs to virtual attendees, just so you know. Okay, next up, our last announcements. So calendar invitations for the next meeting for STIC have already gone out. So if you didn't get it, please reach out to myself or anyone on my team, or your colleagues can simply forward that to you. And also, if you need us to add or remove anyone to the STIC distribution list for next year's meeting or anything else, please let me know. And the next meeting, we're going to have a feature presentation from the Safety Core Innovation Group. So I just want to give a little heads up to them right now that you are going to be up to bat next for the feature presentation.
Thank you for the heads up.
No problem. So thank you very much to all of our speakers, our core innovation area teams, all of our council members, implementation team members, and friends. You are all what makes this group a nationally recognized and award-winning STIC. So again, thank you for your continued support. I'm going to ask if Eric or Megan want to say any closing comments before we log off.
I just leave every meeting just amazed at the work that goes on. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Eric. Okay. Well, if there's no additional comments or questions, I'm going to give you back the rest of your morning. And again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in December.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.